Welcome in, guys, to Sensei and the Pupil. I'm Cray. I got Dev with me.
Hey, guys.
We don't have Paul today, but you know what are you gonna do? He's here when he's here, right?
When he wants to be here.
When he wants to be. He's here when he's here. Guys, you came to see us review Uncle from Another World, the anime that's taking nothing by storm, but probably should be because it's pretty interesting, and we're gonna find out if it's good enough to watch. Guys, Sensei and the Pupil starts now.
We killed that one, dude. Like, the eye contact.
Death. Uncle from Another World. We just watched all 13 episodes in this last week.
I watched the first episode and realized instantly this is one that we're going to want to jump into.
Okay.
So, Craig, go ahead and give a quick little synopsis of...
Quick one.
What you watched.
Yeah, so Uncle from Another World, basically, it's a reverse of the isekai trope that we all know and love. We always go into another world, we always get hit by a truck, seemingly. Funnily enough, the main character didn't get hit by a truck in the first scene. Cool, whatever, I just noticed that. But the uncle had got hit by a truck and had been in a coma for 17 years. He got hit when he was 17, he woke up when he was 34, or 35, my math sucks. And he had been in another world in this coma the whole time. So waking him up, he wakes up speaking this other language, and his nephew doesn't believe him. Of course, the last time he saw his nephew, he was 4 years old, whatever. Now he's an adult, and the nephew's like, "Uncle, I think you're still kind of loopy from this." And he shows him some magic, and it's real. It's not bullshit. Like, I immediately thought this was gonna be a bullshit show where like he talks about what happened, but we don't see anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's gonna be like a whole bunch of Uncle just like trying to do things that he used to do, like in this world that he thought he was in.
Yes.
You know?
I'm so glad the magic carried over. I'm so happy that happened. Because he did magic. He did a magic lifting wind trick, and the nephew believed him. And then the show just is basically a slice of life, watching this uncle live with this nephew and try to make money and just tell the story of his past in between living regular life. Dude, Death. I kind of want to get to the rating right now because I'm telling you right now, I loved it so much, man. I loved it so much, dude.
Well, what exactly did you love about it?
The comedy. I have not laughed that hard in a minute, man. I mean, I'm trying to think of the last funny anime we reviewed. Maybe it was Konosuba Season 2, maybe something in between there. But damn, dude, I was getting so much Konosuba vibes.
Probably the harem.
Was it the harem one?
Yeah, that
Oh,
one was probably
shoot.
like
It probably
the
was.
funnier one that we watched.
It probably was. Man, this thing was hilarious, dude. Like, it came from this aspect, okay? In the other world, the uncle had girls on him. He had girls chasing him, of course. Like, you always get a harem with the main character. But the thing about it is he didn't want any of them. He was almost, what's the word? It's called? Asexual. Like, he didn't care about any of them.
So, I mean, this uncle is kind of like very relatable to,
Yeah,
I guess, to guys that, you know, love to play video games
For
and kind of
sure.
grew up playing video games and just like wanted to do nothing but play video games.
For sure.
You know, you always have those classic video games that will always stick with you and that you'll always remember. And this guy, he played, you know, Sega, you know,
Yes.
and those type of games. So these are like old school games, Sonic the Hedgehog, and just all those classic games that he used to play. So a lot of his personality is about how he grew up playing video games and how much he loved video games and how much they kind of
Influenced his life, you know, like
exactly.
made his decisions. Everything he did was kind of game related, and every saying and motto he had was from a game. Every story of getting over greater triumphs in life was from a game. I just loved him, dude. He was just so relatable, like you said. And like honestly, I don't see anybody in real life ever doing half of what he did. But he's just like, I want to hang out with him. I want him to be my friend. Like he's just so unpleasantly funny. I don't know. Dev, what was one of your favorite funnier moments from the show?
I guess a part that I found kind of hilarious was whenever he got the Ice Princess, I forget, Mabel.
Mabel.
When he got Mabel to sing a song.
Okay.
And when when the song that he chose was from a claw machine in in the arcade in the mall.
Yes.
Which actually used to be a Sonic the Hedgehog background
Right.
song.
But was like, I guess something happened, right?
Yeah, but anyways, he makes this Mabel girl sing like this song, and it sounds good. You know, she does a good job. I
was listening to it like, what the fuck is this? Because he's like, it was so stupid.
So,
but she made it sound good.
But she sang it, and then like he ends up like falling down on her lap, and like the face that he made
oh,
was like,
dude, yes,
was hilarious.
Yes.
So, like it was. I don't even know how to
Yes.
describe the face. Like he was crying, but at the same time he was making like I guess he has this ugly crying face.
Oh yeah.
You know. So.
By the way, this uncle is super ugly. Okay, like this uncle is literally called Orc Face by an elf girl. There, he's hated by every person. They think he's a monster, and he's just a regular guy. He just shakes it off like, and like he kind of holds a little bit of resentment because when he first got there, they sold him as a slave for 3 copper. But then they actually translated the copper to yen, Japanese, and he's less than a third of 1 yen. And he's just like, that's why I treated them like shit. Because they sold me for less than a yen.
I mean, dude. What they gave perspective to see how
Yes.
much 3 copper was is immediately they sold it. A used hairbrush. And it
7.
was for 120
Yeah,
copper.
yeah, 125.
So, and just in relation to that, they were like, what do you want me to do with this half-dead orc? You know?
Too much funny shit. And that was a funny moment, too. But I think my funny moment was, do you remember I think it was maybe episode 2 or 3. And he goes and saves a young girl with her 2 little brothers from a big monster coming. He saves them. He slices the monster in half. And then the little kid, when they see who saves them, looks up, screaming no! And the sister's like, guys, she looks to the kids, after looking at him, and just looks at the kid, smiles, hugged him, then gave herself to him, like, just take me, leave the... Dude, this like, bro, I tried to categorize all the funny moments in my notes, and I just stopped doing it because every episode was literally just funny stuff happening. Like, remember when he turned into the girl?
I do.
Yes, he turned into a girl, and then Fujimiya, the girl that was okay, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but Fujimiya, another girl, main character, was super surprised that this random girl came out of nowhere, and it was the uncle. And so much funny shit ensued with that. Dude, I just...
Another funny moment, this will be the last one before we have to move on because we're spending so much time on this part. Yeah. But whenever they had to... there was no AC in their apartment.
Yes.
So they used all of, I guess, the uncle's magical powers, and then you find out that the spirits, they want something from you, you know. At first they're like, well, we'll take a cow's head, you know, that'll be fine. You just get his cow's head, that'll be fine. And then they, look into getting the cow's head. It's like 5 million yen or something like that. And they're like, and then afterwards the spirits are just like, we'll be okay with just the fish head. So
yes.
So
they require compensation.
Yeah, so they end up having and you'll see it throughout like the rest of the season. They had just had like this fish head shrine kind of that is for the what spirit would that be?
I think it was the I want to say
I forget what spirit
I want to say
it is,
ice one, but
it's just kind of funny you keep seeing this fish head and you're like you kind of you know what it's about, so it's kind of like an insider because other people don't really understand what it's about. Yeah,
it's the same thing from JoJo's and Angelo. If you know, you know. But yes, you just see that little fish head sitting there.
That last one, and also when they turned into dragons.
Oh my God! You gotta explain that. Explain that real quick. Explain that real quick, because I wrote that one down too.
All right, so basically, the nephew ended up using some powers, and after he got done using powers, the dragon spirit, I guess, wanted or
need compensation.
Need compensation.
Yeah, you're gonna.
What that was him turning into a dragon, which actually ended up being like a dinosaur.
It was like a freaking velociraptor.
So, and like there was nothing that the uncle could do to stop it. So what he did was he turned himself into a dinosaur.
Selfless.
Just so he would have some companionship with him, and they would just kind of like roamed around their apartment, like just being dumb as shit. And like being like dumb dinosaurs, dude.
And the girl was just hiding, like, I don't know what the hell was happening. Dog. So many classic funny moments. Like I have no problem watching this again. But just to give a little more exposition real quick, the nephew's name's Takafumi, and he has a lifelong friend named Fujimiya, who are kind of like I guess you call them the straight men. Like they're the two, like they're always just kind of like normal compared to the uncle's craziness, and they're there to give that levity, that like funny like reactions. Like whenever the uncle does something that he thinks is right, and it's really the wrong thing, and he's ruining lives in the other world. They're always like, it's your fault that you did this. They're like just the funny normals, the normies. Okay, yes. And real quick, also, the uncle's companions in the other world were Elf, who we'll get into in a moment with our waifus, because goddamn it, Elf. Mabel Ravel, who Devin mentioned. We got
Alicia, right?
Alicia, the priestess, who is cute.
The hero.
She was the hero, and oh my god, dude! Another funny moment. Whenever Uncle first meets Alicia's party and the two guys she's with, and they try to go in the dark labyrinth.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and he made a shortcut for him, and then they got to the end, and they're like, oh, and so he erased their minds. And did it again with them.
Dragged them back to the front.
To the very front, erased their minds, did it all again, and then erased their minds again because he's like, you know what, I bet they want to do this on their own. And the funny part is when you erase minds too much, they start to get side effects. Where if they remember a memory by accident, they start to get a nosebleed, and it can actually escalate to death. It's just, man.
But the funny part is the first time they went in and he did the shortcut, he realized like, oh, that wasn't the right way to go. Like that, we just skipped everything. That's probably the shortcut to get out of there. So they probably want to experience the whole thing. So let's.
He did it like 4 different times with them. Dude. It was amazing. Was there anything we didn't like about this anime?
For what it was.
I know. I hate saying that. I hate saying for what it was, but god damn it. For what it was,
they did a really good job for how they did it.
They didn't take itself too serious.
Dude, definitely not. This was not a serious type of anime. This was kind of like a watch it leisurely and just have a good time.
Yeah, I equated to Kaguya-sama, bro. Like it was just funny, just like every day something different. But you know what's really great about this show that I really is gonna make me change my rating to like a high rating, is that I knew this was gonna be a funny show by the first episode. I wasn't expecting the story between Elf and him. I wasn't expecting how deep it could actually kind of get, and like it wasn't just a gag.
Well, you always felt like Elf was, she was always gonna be the bottom.
Yeah, bottom bitch for sure. Elf is number one in our hearts. Yes, and honestly, let's just jump right into it. Who's your waifu, dude? You got 3 waifus, Dev. Let me say them real quick. You got Alicia the priestess, the big old titty priestess girl. You got Mabel Ravel, the dumb, foolish, selfish, just a deplorable person, but is cute as hell. The Ice Maiden, and you got Elf, who is the baddie tsundere, who just she's everything to me. Who do you choose?
She's like the jealous type. Very very jealous, very controlling.
But just melt like butter when she got next to Uncle. Just melt like butter every time.
Dude, and this is really, this is really a hard one because I like Alicia and how like innocent she kind of is.
Yeah, Alicia was cool.
But I also like Mabel's personality.
Really?
How lazy she is and how she doesn't want to do nothing.
Yeah, she is.
Ever and just like that aspect of her, and it was like oh dude, that's my.
It's your dream.
Yeah, dude. Who doesn't want that?
Be lazy with me.
Yeah.
Fire.
I'm gonna go with Mabel.
Okay.
Just because she does end up getting 2 rings at the end.
She did get 2 rings from Uncle.
I mean,
Uncle was giving out rings to every girl he met.
Like the most expensive rings.
Super rare.
Only 7 of these rings.
Yeah, and he just that was funny too. Because whenever he gave one to Elf, and then he sees Mabel gets one, she just dude, I love Elf's reactions, and Elf is my waifu. Elf. Damn, man.
Well deserved.
Elf or Sophie? Elf or Sophie from Mushoku?
Sophie. Sophie's got that pure love, dude.
But Elf is an elf also, just like Sophie. Do you want a tsundere or do you want that pure waifu?
Dude, pure waifu, dude. That's what makes Sophie so great. Is that pure love you regardless of whatever happens? Like,
I might go Sophie too. Yes, Dev. What are we rating this thing?
For
what it was.
For what it was, man. I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a 9. It was a hilarious anime through and through. Every episode, you're laughing multiple times through it. The only thing is that I feel like with funny animes, there's a cap on them, just because you feel like the story
Like, how much more funny can you be?
Yeah,
you know,
because there's only so much seriousness of the story that you can get,
right?
And you can't surpass like Mushoku. I feel like Mushoku Tensei has like a seriousness that they can reach.
It does,
but also a funniness that they can reach also.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna cap it at a 9,
okay.
Just because the story.
That's a high level. That's fucking great. That's great.
I mean, just like I said, just because you can only get so serious with the story, just because everything is so funny. And I feel like with funny ones, you can only be so high.
I feel you. I mean, it's funny you said that because I was going to give it an 8. But the more we've talked about it and then when on my drive over here, I really liked how they, at the last 3 episodes, they kind of gave us some inkling of story.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I really appreciated that. It wasn't all just a gag. There was something there with Uncle and Elf. And I wanted to see more. Man, I really wanted...
Not just Uncle and Elf, but Uncle trying to find his way back to Japan or back home.
Because that was his ultimate goal, which we didn't even mention. He's kind of trying to get back by beating stronger bosses, because that's the only way his Sega brain knows how to get past the game. Got to beat the boss.
So he's trying to tear like a hole in between their world and the alternate world that he came from.
Got to beat stronger bosses.
Yeah, because that's how you beat video games.
That's how you beat them. I'm gonna give this thing a 9, dude. Just like you. I want to say 10, but then again, I can't find any fault in it, to be honest. But I'm gonna give it a 9 because I just feel like if I gave it a 10, I don't want to put it there quite yet. Maybe over time it could reach there. But right now it's a strong 9. I mean, that shit was Konosuba level funny, maybe more. Like I haven't related this much to a main character since Hell's Paradise, probably, who I love that main character, Gabimaru. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I loved it. 9. Yeah, guys. Worst in the Pupil. We hope you enjoyed our review of Uncle from Another Frickin' World. And we're gonna review the next core.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah. It's on Netflix too, by the way, so you can watch it anywhere, not just Crunchyroll. We're gonna review next core. We can do next core.
Definitely, we have to.
Sure. We
have to. This is one where you're definitely looking forward to.
Yes.
When you see when they're gonna release the next one, you write down. You circle it on your calendar.
This is one of them.
You write down, and it turns into a weekly.
This will be a highlight of 2024, guys. We're out of here.